This is the SES Defender of Freedom uploading data log for days 223 through 237 of the Second Galactic War. Hello Data Archive. We are pleased to be up to date once again with this log. In the past 2 weeks we have seen significant fleet-wide improvements to Helldiver weaponry, as well as the opening phases for the construction of the Democracy Space Station. At the start of day 223, new adjustments were issued to all super destroyers in the fleet, which significantly improved the strength and freedom-spreading capabilities of the Helldiver arsenal. Shortly after issuing these adjustments, new orders were received from High Command. High Command issued an order to evaluate Helldiver force readiness following the adjustments to fleet-wide capabilities. The objective is to conduct open warfare on both of our freedom-hating enemies, with the goal of increasing the number of liberated planets within the Super Earth Federation. And ever considering the well-being of Super Earth citizens, High Command ensured to alert citizens of border planets that they may experience war-related enemy invasion, which may or may not cause minor inconveniences such as the complete destruction of their homes. And the unanimous agreement among citizens was that any cost is worth it to spread freedom across more planets. The success of the order is dependent on Helldivers liberating a greater number of planets than those stolen by the enemy during the same time frame. And shortly following the announcement of the major order, a new Terminated attack broke out on Gautria. As losing a planet would put us behind the requirement to complete the major order, Helldivers quickly directed their attention to the Crimson Planet, and by the morning of day 224, just as expected, the defense of Gautria was successful. But this was immediately followed by attacks on Classa and Claurel. As losing either of these defenses would put us significantly behind on the major order, Helldivers obviously deployed to both of these defenses as the highest priority. What? Only 14% deployed to the defenses? Where are the Helldivers? Well, hoping to begin the first liberation instead of defending the attacks, Helldivers split across multiple planets on the Terminated front, and were only able to raise liberation on Pandion 24 and Trandor. This unfortunately caused the loss of both Claurel and Classa, putting us behind by 2 planets. Interviewed evacuees who had their homes exploded on Classa were asked to remark on the situation, and unanimously, they agreed that the Helldivers must have had more pressing matters. With 2 planets already lost, we needed to liberate at least 3 more planets to succeed the major order. And with Claurel just lost, Helldivers split to retake the planet as well as continue their efforts on Trandor. The fleet-wide improvements to our weaponry proved very effective in the liberation effort on Trandor, utterly decimating heavily armored Terminids now with ease. And by day 227, Trandor was liberated, our first ever liberation in the Sten sector. Now requiring 2 more planet liberations to complete the major order, Helldiver forces were split between Pandion 24 and Claurel. In the past week, Helldivers have persistently attempted to liberate Pandion 24, with little to no progress being made as it seems the Terminated resistance on the planet is too significant. However, as efforts continued throughout the day, it seems a breakthrough was finally made, and resistance appears to have lowered, opening the way for more progress to be made. But as usual, we were interrupted by the electronic idiots who chose to attack Ember from Claurel. The liberation of Claurel was already nearly complete. This gave the Helldivers the opportunity to liberate Claurel and shut down the attack. And of course, Helldivers chose to take this opportunity, and by early on day 228, Claurel was liberated and the Ember attack was shut down. Now back to even, we only needed 1 more planet liberation to succeed. It was time for Pandion 24. With yet another breakthrough on the resistance on the planet, Helldivers pushed the advantage on the foggy Mizrael planet that kept being preferred over planets with better conditions. The effort lasted over a day before critical intel was received from High Command. This dispatch indicated there was a high probability of an imminent automaton offensive, and Helldivers were encouraged to hold their ground in support of the upcoming defense. And surely enough, several hours later, another automaton attack reached Ember. However, Helldivers chose to stay on Pandion first to get our 3rd critical liberation. Now with the lead and the requirements for the major order met, the only thing that could cause the major order to fail is if Ember was not defended. So Helldivers then deployed primarily to... Wait, where'd they go? Oh no. Unable to complete the plan of completely liberating Crux in 18 hours before the end of the Major Order, Ember was lost, resulting in the failure of the Major Order. Despite their efforts and great Helldiver and civilian sacrifices, it was not enough to prove the Helldivers' readiness as a high readiness level. But High Command felt that the performance was satisfactory enough, and the overall readiness was assessed as moderately ready. Nice. High Command also found that stronger weapons have a strong correlation to the increased death of our enemies. But this result is to be investigated further. New orders were received immediately after the readiness evaluation scores were distributed. Approximately 77 days prior, Helldivers had previously liberated a Galactic War I era blueprint for an interplanetary battle station while on planet X-45. And High Command was excited to share with us that the construction of this Democracy space station is finally ready to begin. It will be a multi-stage process for its construction, and the Helldivers will play a critical role. Once a Democracy space station, DSS, is completed though, it will provide an amazing tool of democracy for Helldivers to reshape the Galactic War. The first step is to secure an orbital construction site. Helldivers must make the choice between Classa or
Helldivers system.
Oh, liberty's sake! Do you have to be in every log?
Announcement system test. The Helldivers.
Nope, that's enough out of you today. Ugh. The Major Order is to liberate one of these two planets. But shortly after the Major Order announcement, new attacks reached Akamar 4 and Claurel. However, securing the construction site for the DSS was the highest priority, and any additional losses and exploded civilian homes were deemed acceptable. Hence, Democracy took over, and it was found that overwhelmingly, Helldivers was chosen. Despite its misleading spelling to some, it is clearly a beautiful jungle planet, most fitting for the DSS. It remained the focus through Day 231, despite the losses of both Akamar 4 and Claurel. The automaton resistance on Helldivers was very significant, but progress was slow and steady. The jungle setting of the planet at night, giving Helldivers and Super Destroyer crew memories of the dark jungles of Malevelon Creek. Through the selfless sacrifice of many Helldivers, after 2.5 days, we began to seize control over half of the planet. But our tyrannical enemies continued to take advantage of the situation, with new attacks on Fact Bay and Shelt. But Helldivers remained the main focus, as Helldivers dreamed of how much more democracy could be spread with the DSS. Not giving a single moment to let up on any of our progress, Helldivers continued to make the final push, and after nearly 4 days of endless deployments to the planet, the construction site for the Democracy space station was finally secured. With Helldivers liberated, a DSS logistics hub has been set up nearby on the planet Tarsh to support the construction efforts. High Command has indicated that future advancements are necessary in 3 key areas: Zero-G material science, FTL propulsion, and gigastructure staffing. High Command has stressed though that failing any future DSS-related major order will cause delays in the construction of this very important infrastructure. But securing the construction site had come at great cost. We had lost Shelt, and the defenses against the Terminids were at significant risk. But excited after securing the construction site, Helldivers primarily deployed to secure the areas around it, starting by focusing on Shelt. This effort continued through into Day 234 until new orders arrived from High Command. The order chimed the bell for the first of 4 construction phases of the new DSS. The station will be a new strategic level weapon, capable of aiding in the liberation of its orbited planet. Helldivers will be able to vote democratically to determine where to deploy it and use its capabilities. The first construction stage embarks on a new scientific breakthrough to establish a new state-of-the-art something center, wherein we will prototype and develop a new high-efficiency Alcubierre drive, which will be capable of transporting gigastructures like the DSS. The ideal grounds for this center is on Turing, and Helldivers have been ordered to clear the planet of all terminated lifeforms to make room for new infrastructure. As Turing was currently under attack, Helldivers rushed to the defense. But this came at the cost of losing Fact Bay. But just minutes later, another Terminated outbreak broke out for the first time on Darius 2 in the Borga sector. But with the Democracy station being the top priority, Turing remained the focus leading into Day 235. With a wider range of weaponry capable of taking down the largest of Terminids, Helldivers were easily able to swing back to the defense on Turing to secure the planet. With Turing secured, Helldivers attempted to shift to Darius II. Unfortunately, it was too late, and the defense was lost by the evening. Following this, the majority deployed to Akamar 4 to secure the planets around Turing, until another terminated outbreak in the Borkus sector broke out on Akkad 3, followed by yet another terminated outbreak occurring on the same day on Pandion 24. Helldivers first closed out the defense of Akkad 3 before shifting to the very familiar by now Pandion 24. And remarkably, Helldivers were able to pull back the defense, not allowing Pandion to be lost again. Throughout the previous 3 days, a portion of our fleet have been holding our ground on Shelt, in hopes of wearing down the automatons to take back more planets around our construction site. And it appears to be working, as the resistance on the planet has decreased by a third. And for the remainder of the day, forces were split between Shelt and Akamar 4, with Shelt's resistance dropping even further before the end of the day. This concludes this data log for days 223 through 237 data archive. With situations back to normal aboard the ship, we look forward to continuing the archiving of the Second Galactic War. I myself am excited to see the future of the DSS as we continue construction efforts. The Defender of Freedom is deploying Helldivers to Shelt.